All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Keto and the Chaos. My name is Tammy, and on this channel, I like to share all my tips and tricks on how I lost 205 pounds without surgery and how you can also be successful on your own weight loss journey. So, if that's what you're looking for right now, go down, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video and stick around for more videos like this one to inspire you on your own weight loss journey and inspire you to get started. All right. So, welcome. I see a few people coming on in. Don't forget to like this video as you come in and say hello so that I can say hello to you. Forgive my lack of makeup. It's 8:30 in the morning. My kids are all still sleeping. They will interrupt us at some point, I am sure. Happy election day. Those of us in the US, are you all afraid? I know we all are. Or at least I am. I don't know today. I was like, do I really need to do a live chat on election day? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, we got a few people coming in and saying hello. So I'm going to go ahead and say hi to you and then we'll get into it. We will get into it. All right. So we have Sabrina Flowers for Wonder Girl. Welcome. We have Sophie Evans from Scotland. Oh my gosh, Scotland. Can I just say, it just gives me happy feels. My mom actually lived in Scotland and England. Well, Scotland, Ireland, and England, I think, for the 4 years between 10 and 14, if I got that right. I hope I got that right. She went to all girls school and she has very fond memories. A couple years ago, my brother took her back to Scotland and their pictures were just, if I ever had a chance to go somewhere, it would probably be Scotland. So maybe I'll come visit you sometime. I don't know though. I have some friends in France that really want me to come. So someday when we can travel again, I gotta go somewhere. Diane Keating is here. Welcome. Donna Hatch. Hello. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Christina Salmon. Woo woo. Welcome. She's awesome, by the way, you guys. If you're gonna follow somebody inspiring on Instagram, you should go look up Christina Salmon. Is that your Instagram handle, Christina? Feel free to post it so people can follow you. I keep telling her she needs a YouTube, but she doesn't have one. Tara Allen, awesome. Another one of my good friends. Oh my heck, sorry about the flies. I can't seem to get rid of the flies, even though it's cold outside. They like live in my house. Apparently, they think it's part of living in the country, and I hate it. That's one thing about living out here with all the animals that is not super fun. Awesome, Sophie. Well, look you up. All right. Stacey Hall says it's snowing in Maine. Cold, cold. Awesome. OMAD, welcome. Gail from Toronto, welcome. OMAD365 is her channel. I haven't seen her here before, I don't think. Hi, Gail. Brianna Novak, welcome. Lisa Sums, my awesome, super awesome. I call her my super fan because she's always pumping me up and supporting me and making me feel special. Thanks, Lisa. Paul and Stephanie Miller, welcome. She says I look happy this morning. Well, that's good. It's probably because I got actually 7 hours of sleep last night instead of 6 or 5. So, hey, that's always good. Okay, so Christina says it's healthy salmons for her and her husband's journey and personal testimony. And she does lots of like exercise stuff and just motivating stuff. And she's doing really awesome on her journey. Janice Pate, welcome. She says she saw my comments on Dr. Westman's live and she's going to his keto retreat in January. That's awesome. I want to go to one of his retreats too because I need to meet him. I don't think he realizes how much I talk about him and like, I don't think he knows really who I am. I was shocked he said my name on yesterday's live stream. So if you guys go watch the one where Dr. Westman talked about how much protein you use on keto or whatever, he actually commented my name, which is like crazy. Hey, Jessica, Nitro Wife is here. Welcome. Keisha Lopez from Texas. Awesome. All right. It looks like I got everybody. Wow. Lots of you here today. Lots of you here, and I'm excited. So, when I was thinking about what to talk about today, I don't want to get stuck on just talking about only the things that I'm doing right now, especially because what I'm doing right now is not necessarily keto. And I thought, one of the questions I got asked a lot on my journey is how to get into ketosis fast. I feel like it's a keto hack and it's something that I could probably share. Firstly, though, before I get into that, if you are watching this on November 3rd, I am going to put a plug in for Built Bars because they are offering 20% off using my regular code Keto Chaos today for the election day celebration. So if you're looking for a box of Built Bars, or even if you have a giant selection like I do and just need some more, 20% off today if you use the code Keto Chaos. And I don't get paid necessarily for this video, but I do make a pretty good commission this month. They're giving us bonuses. So, plus I love them. They're so good. Right, Christina? She loves them too. All right, so let's get into this. So, how do we get into ketosis fast? The first thing I want to ask is why? So everybody always asks me that. Why? How can you get into ketosis fast? And I always want to respond with why. Because I really need to know what their motivation is behind asking the question before I can give them an answer that's really going to help. Most of the time, I think the reason why they wanted to get into ketosis fast is because they feel like ketosis is the driver for fat loss. And while ketosis is a huge tool to help you lose weight, it is not a magic key or pill or perfectly way to turn your body into all of a sudden it's just going to lose weight. It's not what do you call it? A cheat, a diet cheat, a hack. It's not really a hack. There are ways to get into ketosis faster than others. I don't always recommend them, mostly because they are pretty extreme, and really there's not much benefit to getting into ketosis 2 days faster than just waiting it out. Unless you're really struggling with cravings and really your body is like pushing you to get that glycogen restored. I guess that's the word. So my first question is always going to be why. What's your motivator? If you think that ketosis is going to be the thing that makes you lose weight, you're going to be disappointed. Ketosis is a tool for appetite suppressants and like help you to feel better, and so that you can stay more motivated and more focused on your goal. So it's a highly recommended tool, but it's not going to all of a sudden magically melt the fat off your body. And just being in ketosis isn't going to make you lose weight. There's more to it than that. So that being said, I will say the fastest way to get yourself into ketosis is really, really extreme. It is basically fasting. I don't recommend fasting more than 24 hours just because it can permanently damage metabolism if you go too crazy with that. Dr. Finney has shown the science behind that. I've got other live chats where I've talked about it. I don't recommend more than a 24-hour fast. So I'm not going to tell you to do an extended fast, though that technically would be a faster way to do it. Basically depleting your body of all storage, basically all glycogen. And then on top of that, doing a super cardio day. So basically you're killing yourself. I don't recommend it. It's really not important enough to get into ketosis to do this kind of crazy stuff. But I did decide that I was going to tell you the honest truth of how to get into ketosis the fastest way, if that's what you're really looking for, if you came to this video. But I'm also going to highly encourage you not to bother, because really in the long run, if you get into ketosis in 4 days, or if you get in ketosis into 1 day, it really doesn't make much difference other than your appetite suppressant. Okay. So that's the fastest way, basically fasting and cardio, basically burning out all the glycogen out of your muscle stores and not putting any more in. That's the fastest way. The next fastest way probably would be just eating keto and doing a lot of cardio. Same kind of thing. You're not completely, starving yourself, so your body's trying to find something really quickly, but you're cardioing out your glycogen as much as possible, as quickly as possible. But I will tell you this, ketosis makes you tired. And so even fasting makes you tired. Doing that switchover makes you feel kind of miserable, and trying to do cardio on top of that takes a superhuman. If you think you're superhuman and you really want it, go for it, man. I mean, it's not going to hurt you in the long run, but in all honesty, it's also really not going to benefit you in the long run, because you're really not going to lose that much body fat in 24 hours or 36 hours or whatever, how long it takes you to get into ketosis is really not going to benefit you in the long run, other than if you really struggle with the carb cravings. Getting past that faster might benefit you here. And here is where it matters, right? We know we've talked about this so many times on my channel that it doesn't really matter what diet you do. It doesn't really matter what you're doing, how you're staying focused. If your head's not in the game, you're not going to win. You have to have your head in the game. So if getting into ketosis quick is a way to get your head in the game, makes you feel like you're a player, getting in there, go for it. Go for it. I think it's totally fine. It's not going to hurt you in any way. Like it's not going to do anything unless you're like fasting for a whole week or whatever. You're probably going to not want to do that. I don't recommend that, just so you know. My recommendation for how to get into ketosis is just take a chill pill and like wait it out. So when I tell people to get started, when they're getting started from day one, never done this before, they're just eating all the donuts and crap like me, and they're diving in head first, I just say take it one meal at a time. If you look at my Keto for Beginners playlist, I start with the carbohydrates because that is probably the most complicated one for people to understand. The only way you can get into ketosis is by limiting your carbohydrate intake. Be that with fasting, be that with eating keto. So the only way to do it is to do that. You can't eat donuts, you can't eat sugar, you can't eat potatoes, you can't do those things and be in ketosis. If ketosis is your goal, you're going to have to find a way to limit your carbs. I highly recommend, just for ease, of going 20 net or below. A lot of people can go higher than that. Other groups recommend 25. It really, the amount doesn't really matter super bad, except for I know that 20 is going to get you there. And that's why I try to make it as easy as possible. I know Dr. Westman talked about that in his book coming out. I pre-ordered it and I will be talking about it, I'm sure, on this channel. I really want to help him to be successful. He co-wrote it with Amy Berger, who I also love from To It Nutrition. She also has a YouTube channel, so if you want to check out their channels, Dr. Westman's is Adapt Your Life and Amy Berger's is To It, T-U-I-T Nutrition. And they are both very reasonable people. They have a little bit different philosophy on how to do this than I do, but that's just because they're different people coming from different places. And Dr. Westman has been working with people on killing their diabetes. Basically, that's their focus. Dr. Finney does it a little differently. I think Dr. Finney's way is a little closer to my way, and Dr. Westman's a little closer to the easy way. And there's just like, I'm somewhere kind of in between them. And, we all are kind of working together to help people to cure their obesity. I'm not focused on people that are close to goal. I do have advice for them, and I that's where I'm at right now. But the people that I'm really trying to help with this channel are the people who are stuck in that horrible, never-ending cycle of yo-yo dieting or obesity and just feel hopeless and feel like there's no hope. Ketosis was the thing that helped me to finally be able to see my way out. And that is huge. Because, here is where we play. And that is huge. And ketosis does do that. It can do that because there are so many benefits of being in ketosis. And I enjoyed all of them. And all of them are what helped me. So the way I recommend, back to the way I recommend, is by taking it one meal at a time and getting your carbs low. So for that first week, don't worry about your calories. Don't worry about your macros. Don't worry about anything but your carbs. Because it does not matter how much protein and fat you eat. If your carbs are below 20, you will get into ketosis. It'll take you probably 3 to 4 days to really make the crossover. You will have some cravings for sugar. It will be hard. It's not easy. But if you can get past those that first week, getting those carbs under 20, the next week after that, you can concentrate on your electrolytes. If you don't worry about your electrolytes by week 2, you will suffer. That is the hardest thing about ketosis and about keto itself as a diet. If you are not willing to learn about electrolytes and supplement them properly, do not do keto. I know I've pounded this one into the ground over and over, and people just still do not listen because they do not want to eat or drink salt. If you do not want to consume extra sodium, don't do keto. And honestly, you don't need to do keto in order to lose weight. You literally just need to be in a caloric deficit. You need to figure out how many calories you're eating in order to maintain your weight. And if you're gaining weight, you need to figure out how many calories you got to eliminate to get to maintenance. And then you got to lower it 20 to 30%. That is how you lose weight. Is it harder without ketosis? Yes, because you will be hungry. If you can handle hunger, you don't need to worry about ketosis and about sodium. It's not a magic pill. But if you're going to do keto, if you want to do it, if you want the benefits of doing keto, you must supplement electrolytes. So week 1, we get into ketosis by what? Lowering our carbs to 20. It's not rocket science. That's the only way to get into ketosis is get your carbs low enough. You don't need to do crazy stuff. You don't need to do all the cardio. In fact, I highly recommend doing no exercise for at least the first 2 weeks. because you're going to be exhausted. It takes 4 to 6 weeks for your body to get used to burning fat to the point where you don't feel exhausted. Fat adaptation takes about 4 to 6 weeks. So be patient with yourself in the beginning. Don't go into this all hogs wild, starving yourself and doing all the cardio and expecting to feel awesome, because you're not going to feel awesome. You're going to feel like crap and a half. Promise you. But if you can get through the crap and a half, you can get through it quicker. And if you're willing to go right into the electrolytes, you're going to feel a lot better. If you supplement the electrolytes from day one, you're going to have a better chance. You're going to have a lot more success, because that first week when you get into ketosis, your body is going to dump all the water that it's holding on to, and you're going to have a huge weight loss, which is very motivating. But guess what it also does? It depletes all of your sodium and potassium and magnesium, and you're going to be dying. You're going to come up to what I call the electrolytes wall. If you haven't figured out electrolytes within the second week, by the end of the second week, you are going to hit a wall like a ton of bricks where you literally feel like you're dying, and you think this is the worst diet that was ever created on the face of the earth that man ever thought of, and you will quit. Or you will just say, this diet is dangerous. That's why Atkins got such bad rap in the beginning, because they didn't really understand electrolyte supplementation the way that they need to. We're talking a lot of sodium. We're talking 5,000 milligrams of sodium on top of what you're consuming in your food. So get your carbs under 20, work that first week out. Don't worry about the proteins and fats. Just eat whatever you got to in order to keep the carbs low. Track those carbs. Focus on the carbs. Second week, figure out your electrolytes. Find out how you're going to supplement them and find a way to get it in. It's not fun because most people are used to eating low sodium, because they've been taught their whole lives that sodium is bad for you. Well, super excessive sodium is probably not that great for you. But when you're on keto, you basically are zero all the time. So you have to remember that you're constantly putting back sodium into your system. You're not going to succeed if you're not willing to do that. And then week 3, we go into the macros. And the macros is where we make the work happen. And the macros is where Dr. Phineas Westman and Amy Berger and I all kind of disagree. Dr. Westman doesn't believe in tracking macros. He believes in watching carbs only and eating certain foods. If you've heard of his famous page 4, he has a list of all of the foods you can eat and the amounts. To me, that's just so much more confusing than just tracking things and seeing how they line up in the tracker. But that's just because that's what speaks to me. That doesn't mean that page 4 doesn't work. I mean, we have Jelly over on Fat to Keto who used Dr. Westman's page 4 and lost 205 pounds. We have lost the same amount of weight, though she's actually at her goal, or still at her weight, and I'm kind of up and down a little bit. I'm up 4 today, so whatever. We both did it the same way. We just did it a different way. So I'm doing it tracking macros. She did it with Dr. Westman's page 4. All of it will work. You just have to find the way that works for you. So try different things. Try eating what I'm eating. And if it doesn't work, try eating what other people are eating. Play around with the tracking the macros, because the macros is actually where it's at. If you cannot do keto, tracking your macros will still help you lose weight. If you get yourself into a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. You may be more hungry and you may be more miserable, but you will lose weight. The beauty of ketosis is that it basically, within a couple of weeks, makes your appetite go, shoo, nothing. In fact, the biggest complaint that I have when I'm trying to help people and coach them is that they say, I can't eat all that protein because I don't want to eat anything. Do you still need to eat? Yes, you do. And that's why another reason why I say to track macros. Dr. Westman, he forgets that in the beginning, the appetite suppressant is so huge that people just don't eat enough. And you don't want to risk all of a sudden dropping a whole bunch of lean mass, because when you're in ketosis, you are much more likely to burn your lean mass. Doesn't even matter if you're eating the high protein. You're much more likely to lose lean mass as you lose weight. It's a side effect of ketosis. It is real. I'm proof of that. I thought that going into this, I was not going to lose any lean mass, and I've lost a lot of lean mass. I've lost about, 10 to 12 pounds on DEXA, if you believe that, over the time I've had DEXA scans, not including the year and a half before that, or the 2 years before that, before I started doing the DEXA scans. So we don't know for sure how much. But I will say, ketosis makes you more prone to that, so you got to be careful, right? And so you really do need to make sure you're getting in the right amount of protein. Protein should always be key, and on most keto channels, they're going to tell you it's not. But I'm telling you what, If you want to lose weight and you don't want to lose your muscle because muscle helps you burn more calories, and that is kind of counterintuitive, you need to focus on your protein first. If you want to lose weight, focus on your protein first, your carbs second, and your fats third. You do not have to be in ketosis to lose weight. Focusing on nutrient dense, high protein, satisfying, low calorie foods will get you there. But ketosis will help you not be hungry. So that is the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. And that is the benefit. That's one of the benefits. There's so many benefits. The second benefit to ketosis is the mental clarity. When you're consuming a lot of carbohydrates and things that maybe your body doesn't like, you're kind of in a mental fog. And seeing your way out is really hard, especially if you're in like a really vicious cycle like I was, where you're extremely obese, you're consuming things that are really bothering your system. You can't see past 1 second, let alone into the future, and you literally feel hopeless. So you got to be able to get to that place where you can actually see the end result in mind in order to imagine yourself there. And ketosis is a beautiful tool for that. The mental clarity that comes with eliminating all of those starches and sugars from your diet is insanely awesome. Like, it feels so nice. It helps me with my depression. It helped me with my anxiety. I did notice I had more anxiety than I thought I did because my depression went so much further down. I really feel like a lot of the foods I was consuming were not good for me, were things I was sensitive to that were affecting my depression. As I have added some carbs back in for the last 3.5 weeks, I have not experienced a lack of mental clarity, even though I've been out of ketosis. So I think a lot of the ketosis mental clarity is really just wiping away the fog of the standard American diet and the crap that we've been eating. I'm not eating crap, and so I feel like that's the part of the reason I'm staying clear and mentally focused. Also, I've just learned a lot. And I'm almost at my goal and I feel really good. Like, there's a lot of things that come into play when you get to the point where I am at now. When I was in the beginning, I was so desperate for anything. I was literally on my knees begging God for a way out. And keto was the thing that helped me finally be able to see the end, the light at the end of the tunnel, right? And so that's why I recommend keto for weight loss. The appetite suppressant alone is invaluable. So now you know how to get into ketosis fast. Literally, the easiest way to do it is just to make your next meal keto. If you've gotten yourself kicked out of ketosis and you want to get back in quickly and you know what you're doing, make yourself keto and throw in a little cardio if you want to make it quicker. Burn off that glycogen and get rid of it so that you can focus on fat burning and ketones again. That's the best way to do it, and probably the only way. There's really not any way to do it except limit your carbs. Also, you do not have to consume copious amounts of fat to get into ketosis. Don't let anyone convince you of that. If eating the extra fat that first week makes you feel better about doing this, by all means, eat all of it. Okay? Do what you got to do to get into ketosis and get your head wrapped around it. But eating all of that fat is only going to bite you in the butt in the long run because fat is highly caloric. It has so many more calories. So it's not fat. It's not consuming fat. Don't let people convince you that it's consuming fat that puts you in ketosis, because that's a bullcrap lie. The only thing that puts you in ketosis is carbohydrate limitation. That is the truth. People come on here and tell me I'm not keto all the time. Guess what, guys? That's not true. Atkins, it was keto before keto was cool. So, okay, that's it. I see I have a super chat, so I'm going to address that really quickly. And then if you have any questions, feel free to post them and I will answer them and chat with you guys for a little while until my kids wake up. I'm going to move. Sorry about my finger. I have a little thing in front of my clock, so I can't see where we're at time. All right, we are doing great. Wow, that was a quick one. I guess I don't have as much to say about that as I thought. All right, I'm going to see who was generous enough to give me a super chat. I appreciate you so much. And then I will read all of your stuff. It is from Terry Lee. Thank you, Terry. She says, love to you and your fam. You've helped me so much. Oh, thank you. Mwah. Love you. Love you. Love you. Thank you so much for your support. I couldn't do this without you guys who can take the minute to support me. You know, even if you just go buy some Built Bars today on my 20% off, I would be so grateful because they're giving me a really good deal this month. And I'm really excited because I don't like advertising for products very much because it's hard for me to find a product that I actually really like well enough to like actually say something about. I get approached all the time, probably multiple emails a week, and I'm just constantly, no, 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 no. I won't advertise for anything I don't feel is going to be beneficial to you guys. Now, I know there's some question about whether Built Bar raises your blood glucose, but I just don't. I don't care about that. I was never diabetic. If you're not diabetic, if you're just trying to make this work for fat loss, weight loss, Built Bars are awesome because you're getting 17 grams of protein and only 130 calories in most of the bars. The ones that have higher calories have nuts in them, and none of them are above 200. A Quest bar, most Quest bars are 190. So if that says anything to you, why I like them so much, plus they taste like actual candy, which usually throws people off. They don't like the texture because they think it's weird. But to me, it tastes like a chewy, nougaty, something awesome. And so it feels like I'm eating a candy bar, which, you know, I would rather eat like a whole box of Built Bars, which I don't recommend, by the way. I won't tell you how many I ate on Halloween and how bad my stomach hurt the next day. But you will probably find that out eventually. If you're here on this chat, you got to find out. But yeah, they will, that fiber in them will eventually bother your gut. But you can eat a few of them and not suffer the consequences that you would like if you ate freaking 6 Almond Joys, right? So love them. All right, so back up to the top. Let's see who's here that I missed. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Okay, yes, I did. Okay, so let me go up a little higher. Hold on. I want to make sure that I see everyone if I can. Okay, I think I was on Keisha Lopez, so I'm hoping I got it right. Welcome, Keisha from Texas. Thank you so much. Lisa says Lisa Sun says she loves my shout outs. Oh, honey, I would shout you to like the rooftops because you're so amazing. You too, Sabrina, Flowers for Wonder Girl. She is also one of my awesome supporters on this channel and on Hide and Seek, my family channel, and on my daughter's channel, even Eloise. She's just, and Lisa too, all of them, they just watch it. And if you guys have not seen our horror film that our family made that's on Even Eloise, if you want to take a minute for fun, it's like 11 minutes long, and really only the actual movie is I think only like 6 or 7 minutes. Go watch it because it was so fun. It was so fun, and I'm in it. I played the mother. I wonder how you're surprised about that. Anyway, check that out. Okay, we have Rosalba Zuniga Escalante. Welcome. Hola. Posey75. Welcome. She says she's Brenda Novak, the author. Is that right? She's Rose from Sacramento. She's asking if Brenda Novak is an author. Oh, interesting. I did not see her, I think. I don't know if I said hi to her. Rose. I'm trying to remember that. Posey Rose. Rosie Posey. I'm going to remember. I'll try. Remind me every time until I do. Thank you. Tammy Hinckley, welcome. She has an awesome channel. Her name is Keto Cricket on YouTube. So go check her out. Definitely. Life Adventures and Keto also. Welcome and check her channel out. She is awesome as well. I'm subscribed to everybody. I try to watch them as much as I can, but I can't always. Stacy Chipman, welcome from Maine. It's cold up there. All right. Everybody's like, yay, Built Bars. Woohoo. Dr. Jeanette Klabasi from Australia. The rarest person alive in the world. Just write my name in Google. I love it. Dr. Jeanette Klabasi. Do you have a channel? You guys should check her out. I'm going to go check her out later and see if she has a channel. Awesome. Welcome. So glad you're here. Diana Gayana. I hope I said that right. It's probably wrong. Welcome. Lisa Sum says her cat loves my voice and comes running a minute the video starts and sits in her lap and listens. Oh, she says the kitty considers me a family friend. Thank you, Lisa. That's so sweet. I love it. All right. Okay. Stacy Chipman, she says, is the glycogen also stored in fat cells? Now you're asking me science stuff. I don't really know. I don't think so. I don't believe so. I think glycogen's only stored in muscles, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Like I said, I'm only a mom who's lost a lot of weight. I don't know all the sciencey stuff. I just like know how to do it. I don't know all the whys about how it works. I do know your body can convert both muscle and fat to glucose, and that it does. And that people telling you not to overconsume protein because it's because of gluconeogenesis, they're wrong, because gluconeogenesis is driven by need. As your body needs sugar, it will make some because it needs some. And isn't it a miracle that our body can do that, right? So there are no essential carbohydrates. Now, the electrolyte issue has been my biggest problem, and I will say this. I'm still knocking on wood. Well, maybe. The adding in the 50 to 75 net carbs has helped me with the horrible water weight wishes so far. So far since starting the carbs, my weight has stayed more stable and my sodium level has felt less out of control than when I was on keto. Now, I was on keto for a full 3.5 years. Well, 3.75 years, okay, before I went back into out of ketosis, which feels so weird. So like I think I made it through like 190 something weeks. And I was really struggling. You guys know in the end, I was really struggling with the water weight gain and keeping my electrolytes normal and feeling good and healthy and good. It wasn't really working, and the electrolytes were my issue. And I was consuming an exorbitant amount of sodium a day, and I didn't want to be doing that anymore. So that was part of the reason that I decided to try the carbs, just to see if that mellowed that out. And I have to say it has. But like I said, I am like very close to goal. I am going into a diet break. I have my brain wrapped around what foods I need to eat in order to maintain my weight loss to the point where I don't need to stress over like binging as much. If it was causing me to want to binge, I would have quit the first week, but it is not. So far, the carbs have been rather disappointing. To be frankly honest, they aren't that awesome. I don't miss them. The things I love now are keto foods, and that's what I fill up on are my keto foods. So I don't know if that answered the question. Probably not. It's me just talking out my because I don't really know the answer to that. If you want to know someone who knows the answer to that, you should go check out, all of a sudden, Biolayne, Layne. He is not a keto advocate, just so you know. He will tell you that ketosis is not that way to lose weight, but he knows everything about how fat cells are burned, how body stores fat, where glycogen goes, and he has tons of science, and like he's a legit scientist who understands protein and how it works in the body and all of those things. Biolayne. So if you want to learn science stuff and you're not afraid of people saying keto sucks, you should go check out Biolayne. He's awesome. I watch every video that he makes and that his wife makes because she's beautiful and wonderful, and I want to be her when I grow up. All right. Lisa Sum says, isn't it weird that most carbs are white? Potato, rice, flour, sugar. I find my keto plates rarely have anything white. It's usually a rainbow. Yes, exactly. Keto foods are much more rich and enjoyable. And when we focus on those yummy things, you know, the starches just kind of like fall to the wayside. I still haven't found a way to make a potato that tastes super good without dumping tons of fat on it, because honestly, it's the fat where the flavor is. And if you're going to have carbohydrates, you can't have super high fat. You have to have a balance, or your fats have to be lower, or you will get fat. So, because your calories will be too high. See, and that's the thing. So it's a trade-off. And honestly, potatoes without butter and sour cream are kind of honest. It's the honest truth. All right. Terry Lee says she's doing a restart today. Good job. Awesome. Welcome. I hope you're on Facebook with me. If you're not, go check Keto Chaos. I have a page where I post like my deals and my pictures and my foods like I do on Instagram. And I also have a group, and the group is where you'll get hand-holding, coaching. There's a free getting started guide up in the pinned post at the beginning of the group that will give you macros to follow. So if you don't want to use too much work in your head and you just want to follow something and somebody just gives you, I have that available. And also, if you're not on Facebook and you want that, just send me an email to ketochaos@gmail.com or look in the about section because my email's down there as well. And I will happily send that to you free of charge. I don't even have an email list like that I've added people to. I've had like hundreds of people ask me for that list, and I keep thinking I should like put those people in an email list and be like super cool YouTuber, but I haven't done that. I might do that someday though. So if you do email me, you might get added to that list. I don't know. I'm not the best YouTuber. People are always like, you deserve to have so many more followers. You deserve to have so many more subscribers. And I'm like, I agree, but I'm kind of not able to put super effort into YouTube and getting like click funnels and coming up with ways to make money. I'm not the best at that because I'm homeschooling 4 children at the moment. I have nine children, and I am homeschooling four of them. And I was homeschooling before the pandemic. I am busy. We do dance for 4 hours every single night, and I just don't have time to put the effort into YouTube other than putting out these videos. So I always appreciate any way you guys will support the channel, like on Patreon or buying my Teespring stuff or supporting my sponsorships, that kind of thing. Because other than that, and you watching the video, I don't make money off of doing this, and I don't get a lot of new subscribers because I don't really push myself to make that extra effort because I just can't. Maybe someday, as the kids get older, I might. Yeah. Christina Salmon brings up a good point. If you are obese, if you have a lot of weight to lose, do not exercise. Do not worry about the cardio. Yes. And that's the honest truth. It really isn't worth it to kill yourself that first week. If you have been in and out of ketosis and you're just really trying to get back in and get your head in the game, that's a different situation. If you are just getting started at the very beginning and you're like me, like where you're like, over 300 pounds and you're just dying and you just need to not die, focus on your food because you will be in a deficit without cardio. You don't really need cardio until you get closer to goal. You don't really need to stress over building muscle, though. If you're going to do something in the beginning, I highly recommend strength training because you'll technically body fat to burn that you technically could build some really nice lean mass if you were willing to do that. I was not willing to do that. That was not my jam. It's still not my jam. I don't love it. It's the honest truth. I don't love cardio either, and I'm trying really, really hard to love it because I feel like it would be beneficial to me, but I just really don't. Trying so hard, but I don't. And that's just a mindset thing I need to work on. But like, yeah, in the beginning, not the very beginning, like after about 4 to 6 weeks when you get fat adapted and you feel pretty secure on your electrolytes and everything, you can start focusing on some really easy strength training to try and build your lean mass as you go. Because when you're really significantly obese, you technically always have a surplus of calories. That's why you don't need to stress so much about your metabolism in the beginning. That's why I was able to go a year and a half before I came up against my first wall of, oh, my body doesn't want to do this deficit anymore. Because it never felt like it was in a deficit until I got below 200 pounds. And then all of a sudden my body was like, whoa, what is happening? And it started to put up those little walls where I needed to take diet breaks. So there is that. I forget about that because it's not where I'm at in my headspace now because I'm now about 20 pounds out from my goal. Actually, really only 10 pounds out from my goal. I don't even know if I'm ever going to make it to my goal. I don't really care anymore. Who cares? Like, dude, like I'm doing all the things I want to do and I feel great and I'm wearing the size clothes that I wanted to wear and you can see my bones like I showed you guys in the other video. You can see my like concavities everywhere. My concavities, I call them. Concavities are a pain in the butt, by the way. I should make a video on like all the things that are a pain in the butt once you lose weight. Loose skin and concavities make shaving the worst thing ever. I never knew that would be such a problem, but oh my heck and a half. It is a pain, literally, to shave things. You know way more about me than you ever wanted to know now. I'm sure you're imagining that right now. Yes, stop. It's not pretty. No. Okay, let's see. Tammi Hinckley says, honestly, it took me about 2.5 months to not feel so exhausted by the end of the day, but she didn't do electrolytes because she didn't know about it. Yeah, if you do electrolytes from the beginning, you won't struggle that bad. People say keto flu is something that you can get through, and I guess technically you do because your body will get to the point where it basically uses up whatever sodium that you consume and learns to live with that. So there's a lot of people who've been doing it forever and haven't supplemented sodium, and they're like, I feel fine. But I wonder how much more fine they could feel if they had supplemented sodium from the beginning like I did, because I felt amazing forever, like for a long time. I did not come up against this, what I'm dealing with right now, until my body just got really tired of the deficit and I no longer have much on my body to burn off. I think most of the fat that I still have on my body is that kind of fat that's what you call it, a dense fat that's been there forever. It's probably the fat that I got when I was 10 and it's just like not burnable. Like when I go get a mammogram, okay, I'm telling you guys stuff you really don't need to hear, but when I go to get a mammogram, I am pretty secure in the knowledge that I'm never going to lose the fat in my breast that is still left because it's so dense you can't ever see anything anyway. Yes, you can smash it flat like a pancake, but it's the kind of fat that doesn't really burn off easily. So I feel like if I was able to ever afford, because that's probably never going to happen, a 360 lower body lift, which is really what I would need, I think a lot of that fat would just get, it's like not in my actual abdomen, it's not in my organs, but it's like in the front of the hangovers of my loose skin. Does that make sense? So here's another really creepy thing that you don't want to know about me. When I'm laying in the bath on Fridays, you can actually see where the fat is in my belly because it kind of like gathers up and floats up in these little weird like at the top, and all this skin is on the sides. So you can really see, and it's probably like the size of my fist. It's a very small amount of fat left in that, but you can see it. It floats still, and it's still there. But I just don't think that me doing tons of cardio and staying at a calorie deficit is working for me in the long run. You have to decide, what, am I a bodybuilder? No. Am I in competition? No. Am I doing like a super model shoot? Definitely not with all this loose skin. You know what I'm saying? So like, what is the motivator for me getting rid of those last 10 pounds? Is there really a truly a motivation? No, really there's not. And I don't need to kill myself to get that. Now, will I try again? Will I attempt again? Yes, I will. After I've taken a nice long diet break and I've given my metabolism a long time to relax, or if my weight ekes up to where I'm uncomfortable again, like it did at the end of last spring, I hit 196 and that was really too much for me. And I lost it in like 8 weeks. And that's the difference. Like if you take time off when you get close to your goal and then take shorter mini cuts, you don't get as mentally exhausted from it. You don't get as physically exhausted from it. You don't have to do your calories as low, and you lose it faster. So if you've been chronically dieting forever and you are literally just like having to go down to like the bargain basement, 1,200 or less calories in order to lose weight, maybe losing weight shouldn't be your goal. Maybe repairing your metabolism should be. If it's too hard to stick into that really extreme deficit and you've been dieting for just too long and your body just can't do it unless you get that low, it's hard. It's really hard. By taking long breaks and just trying to keep yourself in check within 10 pounds, you're going to give your body a lot more chance to heal. And if you've been chronically dieting since you were like a teenager, like for years, decades, it's going to take like a long time to fix your metabolism. It's not like a quick fix. Me, I didn't do that to myself because I was breastfeeding and or pregnant, and I do mean and or, for 22 years straight. So there was a very few times I tried dieting. There was only actually 2 or 3 times during that 22 years that I actually attempted dieting, and I didn't do it long enough to really put myself in permanent damage since I was always obese when I did it. So my metabolism is great. And I blamed my metabolism forever about why I was fat, and it was a bullcrap lie. The things we have to face when we realize it was really just our shoving donuts in our face every day because we were starving to death because all we did was breastfeed all day and then get pregnant again on purpose. Did it on purpose. But yeah, that was my choice, and that's what made it really hard to lose weight because I was thinking about other people and not me. The other people being my children that I was nourishing with my body. Literally, quite literally. But guess what? They didn't suck me dry. I'm great. I'm healthy. I'm good. Everything's fine. I'm enjoying myself now. I wish I would have known some of this stuff earlier, but if I had known that earlier, I probably would have done a lot of yo-yo dieting. And so it's probably better I didn't know. And now that I'm older and I can really focus on me and not focus on them as much, it's been 2.5 years since I've been breastfeeding at this point. Yes, I was breastfeeding when I started keto. And you learn things you learn. Okay, I'm talking way too much about things I should not talk about. I do that when I'm getting to the end of these videos. You guys should know. That's what makes them so fun, right? I know the people that are still here at 45 minutes in are the ones who really want to know the juicy secrets. So I always have to give them out. Stacy Chipman says, I don't really understand macros, and that's fine. You don't have to at the beginning. Like I said, focus on getting your carbs and your electrolytes in check, and then worry about the macros last. If you need more help on macros, I have a billion videos on it. But the very basics are the macros are the macronutrients that you eat during the day. So proteins, fats, and carbs. Okay, those are the three macronutrients. We need a certain amount of protein. Dr. Westman says we don't necessarily, and he doesn't really focus on that, but I disagree. Especially if you're in ketosis, you really need to make sure you get sufficient protein for your body so that your body doesn't consume its muscle, because it's more apt to do so. So I recommend what the bodybuilders recommend. So, but Biolayne recommends is 1 gram. I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure 1 gram per pound of desired body weight or current body weight. So I used to recommend per lean mass, but lean mass is really hard to determine. Now I recommend desired body weight. So if you are 5'7" like me and your desired body weight is 160, then your goal for protein should be 160. And I did 120 the whole time. And now I'm wishing that maybe I had done 160. But, live and learn. I can't seem to get to 160. Every single day I hit about 156, and that seems to be my cap, without being willing to drop some of those fats that taste so good, because I really like the way they taste. And you have to decide, what's more important? Meeting the macro goal or being satisfied? To me right here, I'm also working on here, and so being satisfied is very important as well. So basically, focus on your proteins, because proteins have much fewer calories, and they fill you up, and they're good for keeping your body healing itself and from consuming itself. Secondly, your carbs under 20, because you want to stay in ketosis so that you have the appetite suppressant. Those two things alone will keep your calories in check, because you're probably not going to binge on fat when your proteins are high and your carbs are low. The fats make up the rest of the calories. So once you determine your protein and your carbs level, then you can focus on your calories and decide what level of calories you want to shoot for, and let the fats fill that up. And the way you do it is you just use a tracker like Chronometer or Carb Manager. You start plugging foods into it, and you you wiggle them around, weights, until you get them to line up the way you want them to. Or if you want the easy way and the extreme deficit way, because I will say that the way I do it on my page is pretty extreme, go to my Facebook and get the pinned post and just use the macros there, and don't worry about the calories. The calories will fall in line if you keep the macros pretty much close. Not perfect, not to the iota microgram, it doesn't matter that much. It just gives you a general rule or idea to follow so that you're close enough that you stay in that nice deficit, okay? And if the deficit's too low, because like for me, it's like 1,300 calories. If you don't want to do 1,300 calories, you just raise your fats up so that you're higher. But you keep that protein level, or meet or exceed the protein level, keep the carbs under 20, and then adjust the fats to where you want to be calorically. That's basically how it is. But I do have other videos that talk about that. So if you want to watch more videos about them, just search Keto Chaos Macros or Keto Chaos Protein or Keto Chaos. What else would it be? A meal plan. There's quite a few different ones where I talk about that in depth. All right. I hope that helps you. Working out is still hard when you have a lot of weight. Yeah, we talked about that. Waiting 6 months helps you establish the diet habit well when you can focus on exercise. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I didn't exercise at all for 8 months. So I did only diet. And then when I started exercising, it was clogging, because I wanted to be able to do clogging. In fact, in January of that year, I knew without a doubt that keto was the answer for me. And I went around to everyone at the clogging studio, and I was like 350 plus pounds. Like by the time I had decided this, I was well over 350. I looked giant. My friends had seen me giant for a very long time. And I walked around to all of them and I said with confidence, I'm going to lose 100 pounds by September, and I'm going to join clogging. And they were all, oh, you're so cute. Yes, good job. You can do it. And inside you could see their wheels spinning going, yeah, right, girl. There is no way you're doing that. Guess who did it in 8 months by August? This girl. So that was beneficial for me to go on that extreme calorie deficit in order to really lose that quick, because man, that boosted my confidence. That's why I started YouTube. You know, I started YouTube and clogging all around that same time. In fact, I think my second video was me getting my clogging shoes. It was my reward for losing the 100 pounds. I spent $100 and something on clogging shoes, which are now, they look like they've been worn for 20 years. They are so beat up. I need a new pair so bad. I have used and abused those clogging shoes. But I didn't do any cardio at all or exercise at all until 8 months in after I'd lost 100 pounds. So you don't need to worry about the cardio. I also said, like, the hack is for people who just like wanted to go out crazy extreme. It's not necessary. But I just wanted to like put it out there because in case you're looking for a quick way to get back in after you've gotten yourself kicked out, it is technically the fastest way. So, all right. Jennifer Costa is here and she says, I look fab. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. And she's going for a walk. She's better than me. Hey, I went for a very short walk last night. Be proud. Yes, the inflammation from carbohydrates is also a big issue. And for me, so far, the carbs I've added back in have not caused any inflammation. So I really feel like the inflammation comes from things your body's really sensitive to. And if you just, like, it's like an elimination diet, right? You eliminate all of the foods. Nuts still do give me inflammation. So if you notice, I don't do a lot of nuts. If I do them, it's like a super treat. I don't really do a lot of peanut butter things either. Those tend to cause me inflammation. And so I tend to avoid them, even though I love them. So there are still keto foods that I avoid in order to avoid inflammation and pain. I didn't have a lot of pain, I have to admit, before I started keto. I was in a different place than a lot of people. Really, obesity was my main thing and high blood pressure. I didn't really have any, like, I didn't ever have issues with my blood sugar. I didn't ever have that much pain, like inflammation. I was still pretty capable of being relatively normal at almost 400 pounds, which is amazing. Killer awesome. I guess I was really lucky that way. Yeah. Have I tested my ketones? I actually have higher ketones when I have 50 to 60 carbs. Yes, I have, and they're always zero. I've tested them multiple times, and they were already always zero. In fact, they were already zero when I was doing 30. Before I told you guys that I was doing carbs, I had raised my nets to 30 the week before, and I was already out of ketosis. So I don't know if my body is just weird, but I just don't get ketones when I'm over 20 carbs. So that sucks. But yeah, I'm definitely not in ketosis, but I still feel good. So I'm okay. Like, as long as I'm feeling good and my weight is staying stable and I'm able to eat more food, like, I'm feeling pretty happy right now where I'm at. I did way overconsume the carbs, the net carbs, the fiber carbs from like the Built Bars and stuff on Halloween, and I paid severely for that, dearly, for 2 days. It was very painful. I was like, holy crap. This is what they're talking about. When you get yourself kicked out of ketosis, that's what they think this is. But I think it's just overconsumption of stuff your body's not used to digesting, and your body was like, whoa, no. I think my total carbs, I don't know if I mentioned it in the food video where I recorded already, but maybe I didn't, because maybe it's coming in this week's video. I can't remember how it lines up, but I think my total carbs for Halloween was 328. Holy crap. Yeah, that hurt a lot. Did I gain weight? Nope. So there's that. All right. Oh, how did I decide on my goal weight? That is a good question. I've waffled around. So my original goal weight was 150 because I thought that's when I looked the best when I was young. When I was 15, I weighed 150 and I looked good. Okay. Well, I already feel like I look pretty good. And I think I look better than when I was a teenager. And I have way more lean mass muscles than I did when I was a teenager. So 150 is probably a little bit unreasonable for me, though I would probably be a really great body fat percentage if I could get there. I just don't know that it's worth it. I really wanted to hit 27% body fat. And someone way back in the day helped me calculate that if I got down to about 163, that should put me at 27% body fat, which is where I got the 163 from. So it's really random. Honestly, I feel like I'm already at my goal because I'm wearing like basically size 8 to 10 pants. I'm wearing size small tops. I feel very tiny. I don't look very tiny compared to the other girls in my dance classes, but that doesn't bother me so much. Like, I feel like a lot of it is the loose skin and the gut just kind of hanging off the front of me that I'm rolling up into my pants every day. If I could get a 360 lift, I'm pretty sure I'd be at my goal anyway. So I don't know that losing that last 10 is going to make much difference in the areas that I want it to make difference. And it is making me look really too thin, I feel like, on up top. I feel like I don't have any muscle. I feel like I just look like a skeleton. Now, other people are like, you look beautiful and whatever, but it's not how I desire to appear. So I feel like if I lose that 10 more, it's just going to be worse. So at this point, I don't know that I'm going to go for that unless I'm going for the 360 surgery and I really want to get lower to get rid of some of that body fat before the skin gets removed. But like that says $20,000 surgery, and I don't know if I could get insurance to cover very much of it. I haven't tried yet. I haven't broached that. I have a daughter who's technically possibly getting married next summer. So next summer's probably not going to happen for me, which was my original plan and hope. So possibly in my lucky year 2022, I will get that 360. And up until then, my goal is going to be keeping my metabolism stable, keeping my weight within 10 pounds, not hitting that, high 180s, low 190s again, because I don't feel comfortable at that weight. I feel way too big at that weight. I feel really comfortable in the low 170s. So my goal is just kind of practice that, right? Learn how to do that. That is my high goal. So my losing weight goal will only come into play if I'm able to control that weight goal and reasonable maintenance for a long enough period of time. And then I will do a quick cut and see if I can drop that 10 and see what happens. So that might happen next summer if I'm coming up on a wedding. So my daughter's like somewhat hinting at that. So I'm figuring I'll probably have a cut again in maybe May to try and cut that last bit for the wedding. We'll see. We'll see. I'd like to have my arms done. I've contemplated having my arms done first. I don't know. It costs money, and that's like money. I don't want to spend money on me that much. That's a lot of money. So people are like, we'll do a GoFundMe. I'm not going to do a GoFundMe for my skin removal surgery. So, no, that's not going to happen. If I get my YouTube channel really super huge and then I make a lot of money, awesome. So if you want to do something to help me out, share the videos and tell people about it and keep watching and liking and supporting me and get my income up higher, then I will eventually get that done. But I am not going to do a GoFundMe for my surgery. That's not going to happen. Sorry, guys. It's not that important. I can live just fine without it. So I'm old. Who needs it? I mean, I don't need to look like a bikini model. It would be nice if it wasn't flopping around, but it doesn't really cause me too much trouble. So, all right, let's see. Key Love asks, how do you feel about cutting out sweetness completely? I highly recommend it. That's actual truth. I should have mentioned that in the beginning, probably. That is actually one of the first things that should go especially if you are obese or if you have a severe sweet tooth that's hard to kick. I did that. And I actually didn't have all the artificial sweeteners until 8 months in, until I lost that first 100. The only sweetener I allowed myself the first 8 months was stevia. And so my yogurt was sweetened with liquid stevia drops and vanilla. And it's kind of gross like that now. I can't eat it like that now. I'm so used to the Mio and the sucralose. I love sucralose. I'll tell you what, it makes me so happy. I love erythritol. I love all the sweeteners now. But I'm able to control how much of those I consume. I'm able to make a conscious choice. And when I eat them, I don't feel like I'm craving them or thinking about them all the time. So if you find switching over to sweets, like the sucralose and everything, is triggering you to want more sweets and to not be able to just eat regular food, I highly recommend taking a lot of time off until you're able to control that. People think that I eat a lot of sweets and that people are always like, you eat a lot of junk. I'm like, well, you know what? I eat fun food because I've been on a deficit for like a long time. And I want to eat fun food. But does that mean that I'm craving it? No, it's just a conscious choice. I don't sit there and think about, ooh, I need to eat a Built Bar. No, they don't make me do that. And so if they did, I wouldn't eat them. I wouldn't recommend them either, probably. But, everyone's different. So if eating something causes you to have cravings that are hard to overcome, stop eating that for a very long time. Yeah. Okay, we're coming up on, my kids haven't woken up. They probably won't wake up today because they went to bed late. Let's see. Lizzie's F87 says, I've been chasing 200 pounds down, but I get stuck at 188 to 195 pounds lost. Still tinkering around 200, still overweight. It seems impossible. Okay, I have a couple of questions for you, Lizzie. Firstly, how long did it take you to lose that almost 200 pounds? How long have you been in a deficit? Have you taken diet breaks? Have you had refeeds of any kind, even high fat refeeds? Your metabolism may just be in the bargain basement. And sadly, that's what happened to me, actually, right at the same time. So, well, and I don't even know if my metabolism was in the bargain basement, but my head was not in the game. And I didn't want to do it anymore. So I took really long diet breaks. I know it's hard to take a diet break when you're so close to 200 and you really don't ever want to see that number again. So I understand the desire to wanting to get further down before you take a diet break. At the very least, I highly, highly recommend a 48-hour refeed every 4 weeks if you want to try and keep your metabolism from tanking. You may have gone to the point because you've already burned off a lot of that obesity body fat that keeps you from your metabolism dieting down as much, and your metabolism may just have caught up to your deficit. I don't know what your deficit's at. Honestly, the only way to do it is to get your proteins higher and your fats lower and your carbs bargain basement. And that's the way you get your calories lower. The problem is that it's just really hard, right? So if you can give yourself some time off and just try, and so like I don't recommend doing what I did and just adding all the fats in, and like I went to 3,000 calories overnight because I couldn't stop myself from eating. Don't do that. But if you can just get your calories up to between 1,700 and 2,000, 2,200 and try and stick it there for about 6 months, maybe even longer, 9 months, and then go back into a deficit, your crap ton gonna kick that so fast. So it's really a mindset. You do not have to make it all the way before you take a break. I know it's hard to believe, but it is true. And if you need a way to say it, just say, I'm repairing my metabolism by taking a diet break. Try and keep your weight gain between 10 to 15 pounds. Don't get too much higher. I got up to 22 pounds and that kind of killed my mental. And then I had to do a cut. I couldn't wait any longer. But up until then, I was out of the game. Like, you watch my videos, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I know I should do that, but I'm not going to do that. That's because my mental game was I should be losing weight because I'm on YouTube and people are like, oh, you're not to your goal, so you should keep losing weight. Oh my gosh, you're gaining weight, so you should stop doing that. No, stop being in that mindset. That's not true. You're healing your body, right? You're healing yourself here. You're healing your metabolism. You need to be able to figure out how to maintain. And so tell yourself you're taking a diet break to learn how to maintain. And then when you get uncomfortable again and you get really back in the zone and you're like, you've been enough time out of a deficit that your body is like, chill, then you can lower your calories again and boom, you'll kill it. That is what I've done. I didn't know it was a thing, okay? I didn't know anything about the science behind it, or that bodybuilders do it, or that the rest of the world that is like in the exercise area, arena, nutrition area, like knows about this stuff. I did not know about this stuff. I did it naturally. I hit that 199 and it was like it flipped a switch in my brain that said stop. And so I did. I took, July to January off that first year. So I got into the 190s. I think I actually ended up down to 187, but I was still eating a lot more food. I was doing lazy keto and not really tracking. So I took off the mindset part of it for about 6 months and still continued to lose some weight. I think 187 was where I got to by October, I think. And then I kind of just was up and down a bit. Then I did a mini cut in January and February. And then I went back to lazy keto in March through May. And then I did another cut in the summer. Then I did the whole maintenance thing where I ate too much fat. And that was an utter fail. You look up Keto Chaos fail. It'll show you that video where I came back and got the DEXA scan and showed me how bad it had failed. And it was really terrible. I gained all this weight. Ketosis is not a magic tool, guys. If you eat too many calories in ketosis, you will gain body fat. It's just the truth. So be careful. But anyway, I took 9 months off last year. And then I gained like 20 pounds, but I took that 20 pounds off in 8 weeks and then got 5 more. So I got 5 more closer to my goal this last summer. And so that's kind of where my head is at. Unless my daughter gets married in July and I want to shoot for that like 163 by July, I might start sooner. Depends on when they get engaged and when the plan ends up being. When I know the wedding date, I will focus on whether I have a new goal that I want to cut for. So my goal right now is to get my calories up, right? Because I want my calories up so my metabolism is up so that when I go to cut, it's faster, really fast. So I hope that helped you, Lizzie. Good job. You're doing so great. Don't beat yourself up. Holy crap, 200 pounds. I mean, it's literally phenomenal. I forget about how phenomenal it is. And then all of a sudden I'll go, Tammi, holy crap, 200 pounds. Be proud. Enjoy it. Let it take its time now. You're not in danger of dying anymore. Take a break. Let it chill. Let yourself get used to it. Enjoy it. Let it take its time. There's no rush. There's nobody going to judge you about how fast you get to your goal. And there's nobody going to judge you if you take time off. Not even if you're like me and on YouTube. And if people do judge me, I don't care. Move on out. Hair flip me like you did when I started eating 50 carbs. Oh, darn. Go for it. I want to keep you guys here because I want to help you. Do I want to make money and have a lot of subscribers? Yes, absolutely. Of course I do, because this is a lot of work. But my inherent goal in doing YouTube is not that. My inherent goal is helping you to succeed by sharing me and what I'm doing. So awesome. All right. What is the bar I'm mentioning? It's Built Bar. So it's builtbar.com, 20% off if you use the code Keto Chaos. Should be a link in most of my things, but I actually just posted an ad on Instagram, Facebook, and here in the community tab if you want a direct link right to the site that gives you the code automatically. But that's the bar I was mentioning. I should grab one. I have like literally so many. This is what the mixed box looks like. And it has like 18 different flavors. Fruity flavors, mint flavors, chocolate flavors. So if you're not sure which one you will like, this one at least, you'll probably find like 3 or 4 that you totally hate, but at least then you'll know. And so then you can go back and buy something else. They also have mini ones. But the problem with the minis is that you have to buy a huge box of 40 to get the minis. But then you can have like a half a bar if you want to just have a half. It's like a 70 calorie bar. You get like 8 protein. See, 2 net carbs. Yeah. They do have digestive resistant maltodextrin. So if you are sensitive to maltodextrin, you may want to get the smallest box you can, try it, test your blood sugars, and see if it's going to really make you have issues. If you are not diabetic or have never been diabetic and you don't worry about your blood sugar, there's really no reason to worry about the maltodextrin in this. But yeah, it is definitely maltodextrin. But I have to say, like, as far as it goes to like weight loss and calories and protein, they're king. I've tried so many bars, but they're king because they have 17 grams of protein and only 130 calories or up to 180. So like this one is so good. It tastes like Almond Joy, but you can see it's 180. That's because of the almonds in it and the coconut because, yeah, coconut. Who doesn't love coconut? But then all their fruit ones, so like their limited edition strawberry that they're only doing for breast cancer awareness right now, that one is what? 140. So most of their fruit ones are 130, 140. I love the cherry barcia because it tastes like chocolate covered cherries. That's the flavor it gives. And they're 130s. So that's why I bought a big box. And also Dave likes these ones and he eats the minis, a lot of mine. So anyway, there's my plug for my non-paid promotion video, but I do get paid if you buy some. So I guess I am motivated that way. I really love them. And I'm really super excited about having a product that I really love. I love Perfect Keto as well, especially their cookies. And I love advertising for them because they are such a good company to work for. They pay me so nicely and they are so generous. But I don't really use a lot of collagen products, so it's harder for me to advertise for them all the time because I don't really use collagen products in my way of eating. I like to have a complete protein. So I don't really use a lot of that stuff, but I do really, really love their cookies. So I like working for them because they do pay nicely and they are an ethical, wonderful company, and their ingredients are like impeccable, right? They don't have maltodextrin. So if you're looking for something without maltodextrin, you should just check out Perfect Keto. But there's lots of bars out there if you need a bar. People give me criticism about my bars, but I'll tell you what, guys, when you can eat 17 grams of protein and feel like you're eating a snack, a candy, and only get 130 calories in, when it comes to weight loss, that's huge. When it comes to keto, it's not maybe the best, but for me, keto isn't like obviously the end goal here. The end goal was losing the weight. I basically have done that. So there you go. So I hope that helps. Oh my gosh. I have no time to answer all of these questions. I'm just going to really scroll through quick and see if there's anything super important. Deborah Long says hi from Texas. She's lost 70 pounds on keto and her husband's lost 100. Woohoo! That is awesome. Lizzie said glycogen's also in the liver. Yes, it's stored in the liver and the muscle. I forgot about that. Tammy Hinckley, who knows way more than me, says glycogen is stored in the muscle, not fat. Thank you, Tammy. She's awesome. She always keeps me in check on the science. I love her. She's the one who told me about reverse dieting. Thank you, Tammy, for saving my life. Feels so great. All right. Marshall Beatty says, I was in jail last week and just got out yesterday. I'm so sorry. Been doing keto for 18 months, but of course totally blew it this week and gained 15 pounds. Okay, you didn't gain 15 pounds of body fat. You gained mostly water weight. Go just get right back into ketosis and boom, it will drop. But I will warn you, because you gained a lot of water weight and it dropped really quickly, if you don't stay on top of your electrolytes, and I mean like kill them, you will die of keto flu again. So be careful as you get back into ketosis. Make sure you watch your electrolytes. If you've gotten out for a bit and then you're coming back in, most of that's water weight and your body's just going to dump it. Oh, and Jelly is here. I'm sorry I missed you earlier, but I did shout you out. Fat to Keto, FAT number 2 Keto. Check her channel out. Oh my heck, what's my favorite flavor of Built Bars? Oh, I could talk about this for like 40 years. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard to choose because I have so many favorites. But I have to say, coconut's my favorite because it tastes like an Almond Joy and it's only 130 calories. It literally feels like eating candy. But I had a mint brownie one this week and I went, holy crap, why do more people not do mint? I know Lily just started doing mint chocolate chips, but I haven't seen anybody else doing mint. Like an Andes mint, right? Mint. So good. Now, if only they do a peppermint one for Christmas, I would be in heaven. I do know, by the way, that 2 new flavors are coming out they're doing the pumpkin chocolate chip cookie again. I don't recommend that one unless you like pumpkin spice because it literally tastes very weird with the pumpkin spice and the chocolate. I can make myself eat it, but it's weird. It's the only one that I really have like been, whoa, that's weird. They're coming out with another one this week though, and I can't remember the name of it. Oh, it's a new one. It's another fall flavor with like almonds in it. But I will be posting about that, I'm sure, when it comes out. So if you're holding out for a new flavor, that's it. But I have to say the coconut almond, mint, all the fruit ones. The orange one kind of leaves like a little bit of an aftertaste. It's not as much like it's an orange stick as like the raspberry ones taste like a raspberry stick, or the cherry ones taste like a cherry, chocolate covered cherry. It really just depends on your own taste. I don't super love the ones with nuts, but I know other people do, because I know like Christina Salmon, her favorite is the banana nut and banana bread or whatever it is. And there's that one carrot cake that's kind of like that, but it has that same kind of flavor as the pumpkin with the pumpkin pie spice in it. They're not my favorite because I prefer the chewy, no chunk texture that's in most of the bars. And I all prefer the low calorie ones for obvious reasons. because you can eat one and still fit more food. All right. Oh, Rachel Devenish says hello from Spanish Fork. Hi. Awesome. We got to get together. I keep saying that about people that live close to me, and then I just don't do it. And of course, it's COVID city right now around here. It's scary. Bum, bum, bum. Lisa Sum says carbs are the delivery of the flavor, mostly bland and fillers. When you eat the toppings, it's Flavor Town. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not eating wheat either, so there won't be any pizza in my future. At least probably not, unless I find a really nice gluten-free crust that I might try. But Prim Builder says, what? 9 children? Yes, I know. It's insanity, but it was a choice. It wasn't an accident. One of them is adopted. I also had 2 miscarriages. My oldest will be 25 in February. I am turning 46 on November 30th. That is my birthday. Oh, and if you want to buy me a present, I have a link to my Amazon wish list in the balance section. We're at 1:15, so if you're this far, I'm going to tell you all the stuff. Yeah, I have chickens, I homeschool, I have YouTube channels, I'm a dance mom, church member. What do you do in your spare time? I lay on my bed and go, ugh, that's why I don't do cardio. I eat all my food in my bed too. If you haven't noticed, people think that's so funny that I'm always in my bed, but I'll tell you what, it's the only place to get away from the crazy. We don't do family meals. I'm not perfect. My kids like to watch TV while they eat, and I let them. They are artists, and they do all kinds of awesome things. They're very, very talented, and I let them do their own thing from about 3 o'clock on. We do homeschool, and then we have lunch, and then we do a little bit more homeschool, and then we go to dance, and then they can do what they want. As long as they got finished their school and their tours, they can do what they want. She said, Diana Gaona says I said her last name right. So, woo, I'll try to remember. Welcome. I'm glad she's here. Oh, Jelly from Fat to Keto says she didn't work out at all until this year. And she has lost 205. So that's awesome. And she's doing so awesome. She does the coolest workouts. You guys should check her out. Okay. Lisa Habedank says she cannot shave her armpits, right? It's like, and it's just, it's a hole. Lizzie says she uses an electric razor. I should do that, but I like to shave in the tub. So, Meglin Carlson says she loves watching you. Keto for almost a year. She's from California. Welcome. You're so cute. She says, my kids have cute names. Ronnie, Xander, Sullivan, Oliver, Finn, Virginia, Eloise, Ruby, and Jasper. And Chef Dave, my husband, because he makes a lot of my food. Bless me got here. Hi. Lisa Sum says, all of your yucky personal body oddities helps me feel okay with what I'm dealing with on a daily. Good. I'm like lucky in the face department. I didn't get a lot of loose skin up here. Oh man, the scary child is coming to visit. I still haven't cut his hair, and I apologize in advance. It's COVID, right? He's the baby. This is Jasper. Say hi.
Hi.
He loves to be on the camera, if you can't tell. He's also very smart and keeps us very entertained. Talks a lot. I wonder where he gets that from. All right. I really should talk about fad diets too, because like I should have said that at the beginning. I don't recommend any kind of fad crazy crud most of the time. So like egg fast, water fast, beef butter fast, all that crap. No, if you're going to fast, just freaking fast and don't do it more than 24 to maybe 36 hours. It's just not safe. You'll burn lean mass and you're not going to benefit yourself in the long run. All right. Let's see. Westman does say start with your protein. He's big on eating your protein. Yes, but last night he wouldn't give a number. If you guys go watch that video, he wouldn't give a number. He's like, Diet Doctor recommends. I'm like, why are you quoting Diet Doctor? I guess he owns part of that company or something, but All right. Okay. Sorry, it looks like you guys had a good talk without me, and that's great. I'm just making sure. April Joy 5 says, I have to lose a lot of weight and heal a leaky gut. Did you have to do this? No, but basically just eliminate all of the inflammatory foods and all of the, like, so you're not going to want to do bars and things if you have leaky gut. You're not going to want to do Built Bars. You're going to want to focus on clean keto, get that protein level up, get the weight down, and focus on that for probably at least a year. I mean, I'm not a scientist or anything. Until your body feels like it's healed, then I would do that. So just focus on clean keto like I did in the beginning. And that's how I lost the weight fast, because I focused on just eating meat, veggies, cheese, yogurt, because yogurt doesn't bother me. Dairy doesn't bother me. And plain yogurt, and I sweetened it with stevia and, like I said, stevia and lemon sometimes, or stevia and vanilla, or all three. Or you make Greek yogurt with it. Like I made tzatziki sauce with cucumbers a lot back then. And had it with shredded chicken, not in a wrap, like just a lettuce wrap kind of thing, or just in a salad. Focus on getting clean foods in, and then when you get your body healed, you can add the fun stuff if you want, like the bars and the extra sweeteners and things, and just see how they go. You know, you try them one at a time and see how they go. All right. All right, let's see. You guys are awesome. I love reading your things really fast. Thankfully, I'm a very fast reader. Ed Boxer says, what's your thoughts on targeted keto? And I don't actually know what targeted keto is. So if you will tell me really quick, I might do a video on that and see. But I would imagine, yeah, I don't know what it is. So I can't really say. How do I get my electrolytes right so that I can stop holding onto water? You have to do it a high amount for a long enough time. You'll know when you, I think it's funny because Sarah, Carnivore Yogi, always says that she knows her electrolytes are off or low when she gets up at night to pee. And I have the opposite experience. When I am having a whoosh because my body finally got regulated, that's when I drop the water at night and get up a lot of times to pee. So I'm always happy when I get up at night to pee. So I don't know which one of us is right on that. We both have a different opinion, but it's just how I've always viewed it. But the idea is to get your sodium high enough for a long enough that you'll have a whoosh. And when you'll know that you had the whoosh, then you're like, okay, I finally hit my level. And then you stay at that level. That's how I determined my level anyway. But I was at a ridiculously high level. Now I am down. So after doing the carbs for 3.5 weeks, I am down to 4 tablespoons comfortably a day of Solé. I was up to double that. 4 tablespoons is the regular recommended amount. So that's where I'm at now at this point. All right, let's see. Jessica says she's lost 70 pounds in 13 months. She can't believe it when she looks back, right? She's only got 6 more pounds to go. Way to go. That's awesome. That's so cool. Okay. What, honey?
Ruby took me, I had yogurt.
If that's a puppy, it sounds unhappy. It wasn't. It was his toy puppy. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that. I tune him out so bad. He has a little tiny dog that he sleeps with, and he was playing it, and he goes, arr, arr, arr. Sorry. I do have a dog, but she's perfectly content at the moment. I have 2 dogs, actually. I have 2 dogs, 36 chickens. I had 37, but one of them passed. 36 chickens, so... And yeah, if you can hear them, I'm sorry, because we have a very loud rooster and he tends to be loud. I had to take off his crow collar because he choked on a grape. Now that the grapes are not in season anymore, I need to put that thing back on him because he's really annoying. Do I prefer Built Bars versus Quest Bars? Yes. I love the texture of Built Bar because it tastes like a candy bar. It's more like nougat and it has less calories. But I do still have Quest Bars that I love and I eat on occasion. They're just higher in calories, so I've been doing the Built Bars more. But the Quest Bars don't have maltodextrin, so if you're looking for something without that, yeah, that's a good one. And the Quest Bars don't hire me, which if they did, I would probably brag them up more. All right. Okay, I got everything. Woo! I did it. We gotta go. The videos get so long that nobody wants to watch them later. So I hope people will watch this later and get some advice at the beginning. People watch the first 20 minutes and move on, I hope. But if you guys make it to the end, I always know that you're my super fans and I appreciate it. Oh no, we got another one.
Hi.
You coming in here? Here.
Hi.
This is Eloise from Even Eloise. Sounds like they're all getting up, so it's time for us to do school. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I love you all. And put a heart in the comments if you made it this far after the live chat, because you are impressive. Put a heart. I love you. We'll talk to you all again soon.
Bye.
Bye.